Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. I admire, I really deeply admire those persons who know who they are and where they want to go. They set themselves a goal, they focus, they are on a path, they are on a mission. They relentlessly pursue their goal until they reach it, without looking left, without looking right, just straight on towards their goal. Our fellow club member, Chuck, is such a person. He uses this approach to become Batman. And I admire such persons because I am none of those persons. For me, it's rather been not really a direct way to approach things, but rather trial and error. And for me, this direct way is rather alien. And speaking of aliens and superheroes, as I mentioned, trial and error, I was never in a position where I felt comfortable all my life. I always felt alien because I didn't know where to go and what to do. It started on very early in my life, in my childhood. I grew up in a village, in a small village, in a very small village. 600 citizens, twice as many cows. Some might even, and everyone knew everyone. And some might even say everyone was related to everyone. And as villages tend to be, this was a conservative place, a backwaterish place. Everyone was happy where he or she was, and no one had any desire to change anything. Everyone but me. I wanted to see the whole world. And this desire felt strange to my fellow citizens. They felt puzzled, and I felt alien. And this is why I left my home village to see different places, different countries, different continents. And I moved to big cities, to really big cities. I spent half a year in New York City. Now that was different. All the 24/7 activities, the constant hectic, the humming and buzzing, the huffing and puffing, and all the stress, people who felt always stressed, rushing from one place to the other. It was fascinating to see, interesting to observe, but so different for me. It was not my type of life, and I felt alien. But luckily and comforting for me to know, I'm not the only one when it comes to that feeling in New York. Sting even wrote a song about it. But it's not only places where I feel alien, it's also about my appearance. I would say I'm an absolutely normal person, normal sized person. 6'6" is absolutely normal, no matter what all those midgets say. But unfortunately, there are way too many of those midgets, and when they surround me, I feel alien. This is, for example, the case when I once visited China, a place called Da Tong, to see beautiful caves, up to 100 feet high Buddha statues. But I was not alone there. There was also a class of local pupils visiting, and it very soon turned out they were more interested in the blonde giant than in Buddha. So they looked at me, pretending not to look. They were giggling while they were looking at me, pretending to listen to their teacher. They were eager to approach me, but too shy to do so, until one moment when one very brave pupil came to me and asked for a picture. And of course I accepted. I wanted to be the gentle giant. But that was a mistake. From then on, everything happened rapidly. All of a sudden, I was surrounded by 10, 20, 30, 40 small Chinese pupils who all wanted to have their picture taken with me. And I don't know in how many picture family albums I ended up. Somehow I stood out. And guess what? I felt alien. But this feeling of alienness has accompanied me all my life, no matter where I was. For example, as Carl mentioned, I spent 3 years living in Down Under, in Straya. And me Aussie mates, they were totally relaxed, practicing their no worries lifestyle. But for me, as a stiff, buttoned up German bureaucrat, it was alien. It was also alien, very alien, very, very alien, when once while living in the Middle East, I was approached by some person, some Arab person there, who recognized me being German. He came to me and told me that Hitler was a great guy because he killed so many Jews. Mm. Well, this was no tomfoolery what he said, and I was shocked. I was deeply shocked and felt alien. But so felt he when I vehemently refuted his statement, his intended praise, and told him that this was a monstrous crime and Germans feel very ashamed of this part of the history. But I also felt alien in completely different situations. For example, once when I visited a big and tall store, so big and tall store, to finally find a pair of jeans that fit me. And indeed, I found a pair of jeans in length 38. Hooray! But wait, I had to realize you can't just be tall to be there, you also have to be big. Because the waist sizes started at 42, way beyond my waist size. Now I was a midget, the waist midget. Dear fellow Toastmasters, I think for me, the time has passed that I find the one path that I can follow to come into a situation where I do not feel alien. But to quote me, Aussie mates, no wuckers. No wuckers for two reasons. Even though I do not have a master plan for my life, I know two things for certain. One, I do not want to live in a bat cave, in a dark, narrow, gloomy cave. And two, I definitely do not want to wear black ties all day long, Mr. Toastmaster.